I do the impossible, impossible.
It is loud and it is wet as we welcome you inside Lumen Field on your standard rain-filled afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Today we've got a Week 13 matchup. Seattle Seahawks. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Buffalo. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You got to be pressured now. They can just go play.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Option play, and they'll give to Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Lockett, the man in motion. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 63 yards. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And we knew that they'd try to attack the secondary, but I'm not sure that we thought they'd do it right on the first drive of the game. But here they saw it out.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, there was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape.
And the pressure gets to him again. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Well, they had the great field position to so maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on the defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and... To throw, it's Allen. And Diggs has it. So give him 5 yards there on the catch and catch. And 6 to go. Here's Allen to throw it. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
On 1st down, Allen puts it on the carpet. It's out. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it?
And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the 1st quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Myers' kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So the defense able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.